Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Witch Doctor series with KageKaze, and I want to let you know that I'm a very silly man indeed. I forgot to check any of the items that I had for possible upgrades to core max equipment. Silly man indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly take a look at the vendor for rings and amulets, anything that we might be able to give him to kind of beef him up just a tiny bit, and then we'll try and see if there's any weapons. Now, chances are we will more than likely hit 30 before getting to Leoric, the Lich King, as part of that being that we have an entire floor to cover, and then we have, of course, the chamber outside of his room to go over. So we've got, let me see, Vitality. Well, 80 and 84. The difference in price? Negligible. As a matter of fact, 42.86 to 42.46. This one is less expensive than this one. And they have the exact same stats. This one has more vitality. I don't even understand. Alright, is that good for me? What am I holding on to? 76? Yeah, that's even better for me. So grab one for him, one for me. Go there, go to Cormac. There we go. Alright, trinkets. Vitality. I have exactly vitality on my ring. 76, 56. That's resource cost reduction. Don't think I really need it. Why does it say I'm losing healing? Oh, regenerate life per second. Alright, I won't grab them for me, but I will grant... What the heck? Let's make sure he does well. Now he's got 657 vitality. I would craft him a little trinket. I am low on the tiers though, so we'll hold off. Those are just quick and easy. So quickly over the build. Firebomb, flash fire. So does a lot of AOE, hits 6 targets as it bounces. Fire bats, channeled ability, will channel up to 638 damage. Starts off slow, and then it will build up. Wall of zombies to stop the enemy in their tracks. Gargantuan with the Restless Giant, so he will buff himself for 15 seconds whenever he's near 5 enemies or an elite. Spirit Walk with Honored Guest, allowing me to go into the Spirit Realm to avoid damage, and also gives me 20% maximum mana, and of course summon zombie dogs, 3 dogs with Life Leech, or Life Link, to basically take away the damage from me, about 10%. So we've got a while to go. Ooh, a nice big group here to fail putting a wall up on. So the damage is looking good at the moment, but I definitely am agreeing with putting things on Master. And something I've noticed is, over this weekend, thanks to this 100% buff, which is new, it was 50%, I was right, I went back and double checked it, is that the difficulty is going to go up, even on Master. As I was leveling with a group of friends, those of you who've seen the stream, you know I've been streaming it pretty much regularly here. Found out that as we got closer and closer to 60, Master difficulty, even that got tough. So I'm going to go ahead and Spirit Walk to get myself mana. Yeah, I mean, you can already see, look, I'm going to level. I mean, just from this group, I'm getting that much experience. So I'm going to do what I normally don't do, and I'm going to kind of rush a little bit. I'm going to rush to Leoric and try and get him down. This has been massively enjoyable. It's hard to believe that it's only a couple of days until Reaper comes out, and I'm really not even sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to jump right away into 70. I'm pretty sure I won't touch the Crusader right away. I'll get to him a bit later. And this lag has been continuing lately. I really don't know why that is happening. I can't even explain that. And it's only lag with Diablo, because when that happens, when I was live streaming, I noticed there was no interruption of service to my stream. It was only to Diablo. There was no interruption of service to the Skype calls we were having. I really don't understand why this is really happening this way, but that's okay. We've got a new decay, a new acid cloud, so we're going to put that under fire bats, I think. Let's do that, because I haven't been using the wall of zombies enough yet to feel for it yet. I'm going to get Blob, 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 Blob. Hurdy-verdy, first-verdy, is to the boom, loot, boom, boom. The acid bomb on the ground forms into a slime that irradiates nearby enemies for 600% weapon damage as poison over 5 seconds. So that's really nice. So we've got the 300% damage that normally hits. Instead of 360 over time, we've got the 600 over 5. And the thing about the Blob bomb is that it will kind of persist and move. So you don't have to worry about kind of hitting the enemy exact. So you'll get this Blob bomb, and it will follow them. And it's been reported to me that it also is a target that the enemies can attack and can distract them. I haven't been able to confirm that with my own eyes, but that is kind of interesting if true. Now it looks like Restless Giant. Do I want to do that? Maybe get rid of the dogs, because it looks like we're going to get Fetish Army here. No rune for Fetish Army yet. Just this 120-second cooldown, because I kind of hate to get rid of the Gargantuan. Really. I think we can do it. We've got the zombie dogs. We don't really need him. Summon an army of 5 dagger-wielding fetishes to fight by your side for 20 seconds. The fetishes attack for 180% of your weapon damage as physical. So that's pretty nice, actually. Let's see. So that's what, 405? So like 900% weapon damage or something like? That's crazy. That's a lot of damage, so we can see it's definitely worth the large cooldown that it was given. So we'll go ahead and put that there. We've got a new passive slot and 2 new passives. We have Spirit Vessel, which reduces the cooldown of Horrify, Spirit Walk, and Soul Harvest by 2 seconds, which is pretty nice. Spirit Walk has a 15-second cooldown on it right now, so that's about 13 now. In addition, the next time you receive a fatal damage, you automatically enter the Spirit Realm for 2 seconds and heal for 15% of your maximum life, which can only occur once every 90 seconds, or minute and a half. That's pretty nice. It's basically a get out of jail free, or get out of death card free, really. I like that. I like the fact that it would save you from damage that would otherwise kill you once every minute and a half. That is quite nice. Monks have an ability very similar to that. I haven't been running with abilities like that. I kind of want to try this one, I'm thinking. When you cast a physical realm spell, you have a 5% chance to summon a dagger-wielding fetish to fight by your side for 60 seconds. Physical spells are Acid Cloud, which I have, Corpse Spiders, Fire Bats, which I have. Or no, I don't have Fire Bats anymore, my apologies. Firebomb, that I do have. Locust Swarm, Piranhas, Plague of Toads, Poison Darts, Wall of Zombies, again, I have, and Zombie Charger. So I've got several of them. And these are quite nice. You summon them for a minute, 5% chance, and when you consider how often I'll be using the Flash Fire and the Acid Cloud, that can be quite nice, quite a bit of damage. So let's go ahead and make this Sycophants build with the Fetish Army and the Fetish Sycophants. Alright, we'll go ahead and do that. Now, I could get rid of Pierce the Veil, which is increasing my damage, and go ahead and get Spirit Vessel just to make sure I don't die. It's a thought. If I find that it's becoming an issue, I might just do that. But for now, we're going to go with this build. Now, if I were running the Vampire Bats or the... Sorry, which is it? The bats that don't cost mana. Yes, Vampire Bats, actually. If I were running the Vampire Bats... This would be even better because I could just sit there and channel it. Notice that it says it's when you cast a physical realm spell. It doesn't say I have to hit anything. I can sit here. I've already got 3 of them around me. I'm just going to keep casting. And then you should see that I start to get more of these things. Depends on how many I can have. Yeah, I think I just saw another one pop up. So I don't even have to actually hit anything. So if I had the Vampire Bats, I could sit here and just... use the Vampire Bats. I don't even have to try and hit anything. I can basically stand back, like, no, I'm not going to hit these skeletons, and just fire off spells in hopes that I get my army up.
My studies indicate that a high-level cleric of the Zakarum named Akan began to sense the corruption that was eating away at the heart of his faith. He knew this corruption would eventually destroy his beloved church, and that he must take action. After much prayer, Akan hit upon the idea of an order of crusaders.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and summon the army. Since the Crusaders is new lore, I'm definitely trying my best to make sure that they play so that you can see those. For those that may not have let that play in the past, in their own games. Or for those who haven't been playing since the new patch. Alright, go in. I need to rearrange these buttons a little bit. So acid clouds spam right now is really nice to do, because before, you know, it would put the damage in an area over 5. Now it summons more of these blobs, and each of the blobs does its own damage. Holy. Wow. Anyway, I need to move this, and I really can't because that's on cooldown. Alright, I'll have to wait. So just as kind of an anecdote, oh wow, my second legendary, ladies and gentlemen. My helmet. I was just going to say, just as an anecdote, it has been absolutely crazy. I've been playing all weekend, like non-stop. I'll be identifying that helmet soon, by the way, don't worry. I've gotten 3 characters up to 60. At least 2 of those were from scratch. Just because of the 100% bonus experience. I've been playing with several of the old fellows from, say, the multiplayer Mayhem. So I've had Think Flight, I've had Archer Zero, Don Juan, even 10 Ton Blue has made an appearance. I didn't think he was going to, but he did. He's been running on different hours, so we haven't had much chance to speak with each other lately. But yeah, it's like everybody is, oh geez. Wow. Everybody's been interested, and it's one thing I've noticed too is that a lot of people have been on the fence, and a lot of people kind of have been looking at Reaper Souls and kind of thinking, you know, they think to themselves, man, I don't really think this is going to be enough to want to get me back in, and we ran into that with, you know, with one friend, and we basically sat there and we're like, you know, hey, look, here's what it is. Why don't you just come on, try it out, play it for a while. And they tried it at first, didn't care for it Why is this not hitting him? Is it me or is that not hitting him? It's hitting his shield and bounce. Oh, that's got to be a bug. My Firebomb cannot hit him. It can't touch him. It can't get near him. The missile dampening effects is completely ruining flash fire. It couldn't do anything.
I'm glad that fate has brought us together on this.
Wow. That's just odd.
You fight with both honor and ferocity. I know that it's yours.
But what I've noticed is as people play more and they, you know, give it more than just a couple hours, like they actually sit, give it, you know, they've played it for the day or whatnot. It's been changing people's minds once they start finding those legendaries that have been gear changers and things like that. I honestly think that everyone that I've played with in the past that either wasn't sure, was on the fence, or even just flat out thought they weren't, ultimately decided they were, if they could get it. And I think that's been fantastic, and I think that's really shown that they've done a great job with a lot of the changes that they've done. Now, a lot of people will, of course, argue these are changes that should have happened a long time ago. I can't exactly say that they aren't correct. But I can say it has given us a lot to look forward to and to get now. So I can certainly say this is a game that is now really kind of hitting its stride, I think. Really looking to be the game a lot of us probably were hoping that Diablo 3 would become. I mean, not for everybody. I don't want to speak this, you know, say this is in everybody's thoughts, but a lot of people are kind of getting that vibe, and there I go, getting pulled around and dying. Yeah, I'll change up my skills a bit. I will go ahead and grab that passive, I think. I need to move my skills around on my bar, actually. Let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, yes, and let's just do this. I will go ahead and grab a Spirit Vessel. Okay, excellent. So they've been doing wonders, and I'm really happy to see people getting back into it. It's actually been, oh, wow. It's actually been quite interesting if you look at a lot of the action RPGs lately. Marvel Heroes got a massive update as well, and they've been doing a good job. So games that I thought might not pull themselves out of the funk that they were in have been doing a lot better. But definitely been taking advantage of this additional experience over the weekend, and my dogs are nearly dead again. 3 characters. I only had the 160 for the longest time since vanilla. I have found more legendaries playing this new patch than I have for playing the game the entire time in vanilla. Oh, and when I mentioned last time that I couldn't say that I've played hundreds of hours in the game, I was wrong. I found out on the breakdown on my character screen, my barbarian had spent 300. I'd spent 300 hours on my barb. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on him, and I have found more upgrades for him, and have found better gear across the board. And oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me! Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The beam for set items. I have found the plan for Kane's Fate. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be able to craft it for this run-through. I just need legendaries to disenchant. Alright, speaking of legendaries, looks like I've got Leoric's crown. The broken crown. Close enough. So, nice. 97 int, 159 vitality with some attack speed increase. Gold for monsters and monster experience. Now what's nice about this, and what really makes it legendary in a sense, is the attack speed increase. I do believe that is not a standard affix that you can get on this slot. So nice to get that. We can see it gives me 8% damage, 27% toughness. So we'll go ahead and throw that on now and just kind of show off. It looks very weird on my rickety head, kind of shaking, doesn't it? Oh, Rafiki. Rafiki, how we love you. We love you. Excellent. Okay. I've got to go put Kane's set in. Unfortunately, without the brimstone, I won't be able to make it for this run-through. But that is a good set that I know I can run on other characters, and I've got plenty of fire brimstone for those. So we'll take a look at it when we get back to the vendor. Now, I look back at previous Witch Doctor videos. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny. The Witch Doctor video for this level range, when I went back, and I linked it in the last video, which I cut in half, which many of you probably saw, was a video where I did a skit for Deckard Cain, the 50 Shades of Cain, which got renamed to 50 Shades of Awkward after that. I found that amusing, that would be the exact point that I would decide to look back and double-check my skills, because I was wrong about the zombie dogs and the life leech, or life link. I say leech again. That was amusing, and I hope you may have checked it out. If you hadn't seen that old skit, or maybe you had and you couldn't remember it, it was amusing. It was really fun to do. I kind of wanted to follow up with that with a longer excerpt from the, for a dry reading of the 50 Shades of Cain, but maybe one day, maybe one day. And it's hard to believe. I mean, look at it now. I'm level 30. I'm halfway through my levels, and I haven't even gotten to Leoric, the Skeleton King. And at this point in the last video series, when I was doing this, I was in Act 3. As a matter of fact, I would have been fighting and killing Gom. I would have been like a third of the way through Act 3. So, amazing leveling progress, that's for sure. So that's another reason why I'm thinking about it. It's like, you know, I definitely need to bring down the difficulty, because at this point, I think I'm going to hit 60 by the end of Act 2. That's what I've been experiencing with the characters we've been playing in the multiplayer over the weekend. We've been hitting 60 probably either at or a little bit around fighting Magda. Gosh, I'm going to get 31. I didn't think it was going to take this long to get there, but I just forgot how far I had to travel.
I do not have enough mana.
I do like flash fire. I like that I don't have to really aim to get as many enemies that I want to damage here. We really need to get to the end here. Oh, this is going to be a dead end. I'm pretty sure of it. Let's quickly get through this with the Sycophants here, the fetishes. I'm glad that this run is being pretty lucrative as well. I mean, we've already seen about 2 videos back, I believe, since I had to cut one of them in half. Getting the legendary shoulders for the first time. I just got another legendary item, the Broken Crown. I actually got a set item. I wish I could say that was my first set item. That would have been really cool for my first set item to be on the video. It is not. I did find one other set earlier. But still, the fact that those things were so rare, I had never ever seen one prior to the 2.0 patch, that it makes me very happy that one dropped for me now here, so that you all can see it and see that it does happen. This stuff happens now. It's not a rare unicorn anymore. I mean, it's certainly still rare enough to make it uncommon. Gives you the sense that you still have to find stuff, but it's not, you will never find it. I don't want anyone that's looking into Reaper of Souls and looking into this to think that epics or rares or legendaries are going to drop from the sky like candy. Legendaries will not be dropping from the sky like candy. They do drop at a moderate clip, and there's so many of them now that typically it's good to see them, you know. And not only that, but low-level ones can drop as high-level. So when you're running through and you get a legendary, it may just be an upgraded version of one you had before, which might sound terrible, but in fact it could be good, because there are some pretty nice low-level legendaries. Yeah, this is a dead end. I should have turned around. I'm just fighting lots of big groups, which is kind of nice for this build that I've got here. Alright, just go. Go, my army, go. My army's doing a good job of keeping them at bay, actually. I'm just kind of sitting here and spamming at range. As you see, I got plenty of Sycophants with me. Alright, before we get too much further, let's do this. Alright, so Firebomb's got a new rune now. We've got Roll the Bones. The skull can bounce up to 2 times. So, unlike Flash Fire, where it bounces 6 times and it just hits a single enemy, this is 2 bounces off of the original version of it, which is to do a splash damage. So this is going to bounce twice and do splash damage on both of those. It will also only jump forward instead of all around like this one has been doing.
There are forces arrayed against us.
So let's see, we've got a new Hex. And we've got a new VooDoo. Alright, so that's fine. Let's see, Hex. Where am I going to put Hex? I think maybe on the wall. The wall of zombies. I can do that. Yeah, let's do that. So on the wall of zombies, let's get a new Hex. And what have we got? We've got Jinx. So Hex targets take 20% additional damage. So as we've seen before, we have the normal Hex, which will turn them into a chicken, and they take 10%. Now it's 20%. So it doubles how much damage they take. So that increases my damage, as well as gives me a little bit more survivability. We will also be replacing the VooDoo, the Fetish army. Yeah, we'll replace it with Big Bad VooDoo. Let's just take a look at it while we're waiting for the cooldown. This increases the duration of the ritual to 30 seconds. So Big Bad VooDoo originally was a fetish that begins a ritual dance, increases your attack speed and movement speed by 20%. And it lasts for 20 seconds, so this will be 30 seconds instead of 20. So 20% for 30 seconds for a 2-minute ability. So that means you only have to wait a minute and a half for it to come back up. That's not bad. Still may not be the best item or the best ability for me in this build. I only have the dogs. I don't have the gargantuan. It's usually something I like to do when I've got more of those, but I do have some pretty good damage here in my abilities, and there you can see there's Roll the Bones. It just goes straight, does a lot of AoE. And decent damage. It does not reduce the damage per bounce like Flash Fire does. Alright, so I do not have... Oh yeah, it turns him into a pig! Jinx turns him into a pig. I had forgotten about that. Everybody loves bacon. All right. And lots of enemies, taking a while to get anywhere. Oh, some common debris, thank goodness. You know, I actually want to talk a little bit about that, common debris. It is something that I can now understand a lot of why people are a little frustrated with it. I have had issues with it, with characters that I've been doing the self-found thing on it. Just if I'm sharing the loot, usually it hasn't been a big deal. I have found that near the end game, like when I went into Act 2, I've noticed that I've been picking up when I have to run back to empty out my inventory. Like you can even look now. If I go to run back and empty out my inventory now, I've only got 2 white items in my inventory. That's only 2 items to give me common debris. I'm going to start running out of common debris with that. This is becoming a concern for a lot of people now. Thankfully, it's really not going to be too big of a concern once Reaper hits for higher end characters, because you're going to start all over again. Actually, then it might actually become more of a concern, to be honest, because what you'll more than likely have to do is find the new level of common debris, because you're going to have a new level of essences and tiers, right? You're going to have a new level of demonic essences, new level of iridescent tears, a new lesson of exquisite essences. All of that is going to be all new. You're not going to be able to just use what you already have for the new tier of crafting. So it means you're going to have to start all over again. Funny enough, I've been watching a whole stream of YouTube videos that are kind of designed to get people to just kind of get them views, because it's like, hey, here's how to get 5,000 white items. And you know what? You want me to give you that advice here, real quick, without making a whole fresh video on it? Go to go to the spot before the butcher where there's a whole bunch of weapon racks. Halls of Agony, I believe. Yes, Halls of Agony. Go there. There's a ton of weapon racks. You know what you find on weapon racks? White items. They are a guaranteed drop. They will either be white or blue or legendary or whatever. Normally they'll be white though. They will drop an item. They do not ever not drop an item, from my experience. So hey, there you go. And I did that without telling you to go, hey, watch this video. So there's that. I'm sorry, I sometimes just wonder about those kind of things. I usually try to make content videos that are, I feel, value added. You know, if I can tell you in 5 seconds, go here to get those white essences, then it just... Oh my! Lloigor the Crazed! I haven't seen him in forever! As a matter of fact, I don't think I've seen him since beta. I think I have not seen him since the beta. I saw him once there, maybe twice. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. This guy. Alright.
Stay back, vagabond. This tome is mine and mine alone. If you are wise, this gold will satisfy your curiosity.
Gold, huh? 146? It's not bad. What do you think, Cormac? You're the one that wants tomes. Glorious! Did you see that? No, Cormac, settle down, settle down. The tome, do you want... Oh, and the tomes! Yeah, see, I knew.
Ah, so you wish to know what I've learned? How I've suffered? So be it!
Ooh, 2 pigs. Apparently, the the casting speed buff will speed up how often he jinxes. That's nice. So this is going to be a better build than I thought. So he's summoning bats. He just did a pull-in on Cormac, apparently. Wow. So this is what I like. I like the fact that there are still things I haven't really... either haven't seen... like, actually, I'm pretty sure there are still events I haven't seen in the game. But not only that, but events that are so rare that you only catch them once in a while, you know, and you can say, man, that was pretty cool. I got to see something new. I like that.
Not ready yet.
I mean, this guy is just incredibly rare. I don't know how many people have actually seen him. I mean, while it's not that much of a fight, it's still just nice to know he's there. You know, it's an event. It's just going to keep me guessing. Like, what have I missed? What have I missed? What haven't I seen? I would like to know. I mean, there's a list. I know you could go into the achievement list and see all the events, but you have to wonder, you know, what are these events? What are they like? I could probably go out and search them by name, probably find videos on them. And he's nearly dead. Good. I've got my cooldowns back, but I'm not going to use them here. He's nearly dead. Let's just kill him off. There, Cormac. Glorious? Yeah, I thought so.
Thank you for helping me.
Wow, this is going to be a good day. I've got a couple things here. A legendary, a set piece, an event that I haven't seen in forever. This is great. If you can't tell, I've got sheer excitement. Excitement in my voice. One could say he has a hard-on for the game. I've tried to tell him it's not healthy. You shouldn't be doing that. You especially should not be dry humping the CD. It'll chafe. It's really uncomfortable when that happens. It's not like I'm speaking from experience. Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it. Stop it. You're desecrating the name of Cain. This is terrible. Absolutely. Another dead end. I swear. This place, it tasks me to the core. Indeed. Lots of more undead that need to be fallen and destroyed. Oh, goodness. Knockback? Really? Isn't that a bit of an overkill? Perhaps it's a little misplaced. They already have a natural knockback. Why would you add knockback to a monster that naturally knocks back? This makes no sense. I know random is random, but you'd think they'd have a little common sense. But no. No, here, let's add knockback to the knockback creature. Really? It's like saying, let's add fireballs to the creature that casts fireballs. Yeah, that's great. Alright, new level, new skills. Gosh, I've leveled twice. No, 3 times. 30 to 31 and 30. Yeah, oh my goodness. The double experience in the Torment's really doing it. I really need to find Leoric's chamber and get out of here. Yeah, it's starting to slow down. Okay. I can't change skills while in combat, so... I'm going to suggest, and I really don't know why they didn't do this. The whole problem with the white items, now you're going to get a lot of white items when you go through certain areas, like I mentioned. right before the butcher is one of the best places to do that. There's lots of weapon racks. You will find a lot from that. And they disenchant for a high amount. You'll get somewhere between 8 and 10 on average. I mean, you might get a little bit less, a little bit more from there. But what I don't understand is why didn't they just let blues disenchant into white items as well? Like, give you the blue, give you the exquisite essence, but also give you common debris. It used to be at one point in the game, I think it was even on live, where if you disenchanted a yellow item... really, I have to go back? I do. You would have a chance of getting a blue item from it as well. Like, you get a yellow blue. Actually, it might have been the other way around. I believe it was if you disenchanted a blue, it had a chance of giving you a yellow. I don't believe it went down. But why not take that system and go down with it? Why not make it so that blue items also give you commons, right? Because for some reason, the white items, which are supposed to be commons, aren't common. They're very much the opposite of common. It's misnomer, kind of a misnomer there, you know. It's just weird. All right, so we've got some blues that are actually going to be some upgrades. It looks like here. I'm going to reduce healing here because I lose regeneration. Gaining damage though. Critical hit damage increased as well as intelligence. I'm going to keep the... no, I'll take it. Here we go. A ceremonial knife. Is it any good? 22 damage reduction? No, I would imagine not. So we're not even going to bother with that. What about this one? 22.6 damage with a loss of 0.9 toughness. Reason being... I'm not sure. I think it's the intelligence, actually. The loss of intelligence is a loss of all resistances, but it's not that much. Plus the healing, I'm going to gain life per hit. That's going to be much better, plus the 22% damage. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. What did I go from? I'm going from 460 to 560, so that's quite nice. Go ahead and get rid of that. That's not an upgrade. No, not now. Damage increase, toughness decrease. I would lose the vitality, gain damage. Poison skills deal 5% more damage, and area damage on hit increase. That's kind of nice. So even though it says 14.7% damage increase, it's actually more. Especially since I'm using a lot of poison skills right now, and that's a 5% damage increase to poison skills. So while I'm losing the vitality, I think I'm going to actually use that. Can't disenchant that, that's fine. Not an upgrade. Damage increase, loss of toughness. But what do I lose? What's lit up on the left? So that's the big thing. Got to look at the diamonds that are lit up. I would be losing area damage, I'd be losing mana regeneration, and maximum mana. So honestly, even though it's a 2% upgrade, I'm going to say no to that one. So we're just going to disenchant that. Items that I cannot use are going to get disenchanted. No. 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 Alright, good. Now it's down to the yellow. So what do we got? A ring with damage, reduced cooldowns, lightning resistance, and an empty socket. That's not bad. I can use that empty socket. I'm finding regular gems now. So what I might do is put some vitality on that in a gem form. Here we go. That's armor. That's an upgrade even without anything in it. Intelligence and vitality and life after kill. So we'll go ahead and put that on now. Disenchant. Damage increase. Let me see. Cooldown of all skills reduction. Haunt damage increase. I'm not really using Haunt. Let's look at what skills I got. I got Spirit Barrage, Wall of Zombies, and Soul Harvest, so I won't be using it. So I'm going to say no to those shoulders as well. Pants that are a loss in damage, but it gains in toughness and healing. To regenerate life per second. I kind of like that. I can recoup some of that damage by putting some gems in it, I think. Should be fine. I like the fact that it's toughness and increase as well. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll put that on. Alright. Salvaging this, getting the gems back from the salvage, and from here I'm just going to grab some regular gems since the last feedback suggested that as long as I was using similar gems of type, it didn't matter too much if I were to use these. So what we're going to do is, what am I going to put in the helmet? I could put experience gain, but I think I might want to put life on it to help my survivability. since that does have that. I could put on Magic Find, but I really want to find some white items. I could do this, reduce cooldown. That diamonds are pretty nice for that. Extra gold from monsters. I don't think I need that. I've been getting quite a bit of gold. In fact, my gold has been going up, I've noticed, since I've been playing, even with a lot of crafting. Now, the one thing that's going to eat up my gold, I'll be quite honest, I know this is true, my gold will be eaten up by making gems. I've got all these gems. If I want to go up to the higher levels, like I've actually started to do this a little bit, try to get the higher levels of gems, it's going to take a ton of money. It's just going to take an absolute ton of money. Alright, let's see. For this, I wanted to... Yeah, I'm going to put a int in there. We'll put that here. We will put that in... I guess I can just throw a bunch of int gems everywhere, right? Get my damage really up. It's at 625. Let's see what happens. $673. So it went up. And we'll get this on one of the rings. $773. Can't salvage any of those. Alright, let's go ahead and learn the plan. I'll have to go sell these.
From the east, Chuck, I found some interesting things on my latest dig. You should take a look. I've got some brand new goods.
Alright, let's take a look at the armor that I can make. I can make... Oh yeah, this is another set item I found. Captain Crimson Satin Sash. That is a level I can use it. Looks like the boots. So without any of the brimstone, I really can't make those. I could go to Can Equip and see what's the next level down. And it looks like these are a little bit better. So I might do that. Let's see. The rare belt is about the same. The boots... Here's Kane's sandals, so that's actually level 23, so that's under my level, so I won't be needing to make that as well. But as you can see, even something like this is more powerful than Kane's set, like just from a raw level value, but it still requires a good amount of stuff, like Fiery Brimstone and Demonic Essence. I mean, you really need a lot of powerful crafting materials, so you kind of have to have... It's like these are almost impossible to get as a self-found thing, really. Especially when it comes to the demonic essences. You don't get the demonic essence. Like, this is level 23. Demonic essences didn't start dropping until kind of recently for my character. So I would have to do that for a character that didn't mind using these kind of items. Alright, the greaves. I'm going to go ahead and make... no, I can't because I don't have the demonic essence. Bracers. I'm fine there. Chest armor. I am pretty much fine there. Kane's gloves are the highest ones that I can make. Gauntlets, I'm fine there. Helm, I'm fine there. I'm just gonna keep the legendary. I could make better pants. I'm low on exquisite essence though, so I think I won't. And shoulders. I think I will. I'm getting to the point where I probably should go ahead and get rid of those shoulders. Damage and toughness, loss of healing. So Grasp of the Dead goes up. I'm not using that right now. That's fine. I lose the regenerate life and the cooldown, but I'm gaining some toughness and I'm gaining some raw damage. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And I'm going to go ahead and put these pads into my set of legendary items. And you see I already have a pair of those. I have 72 here. I've got this 57. I'm going to put it up here because I can disenchant it for this character and get a brimstone out of it. As a matter of fact, that's 18, that's 29, 59, 65. You know what? I don't need to hold on to this. This will be my first brimstone. So there we go. I have a self-found brimstone now. Quite nice, right? Okay, I think we're done here. There wasn't any weapons, I believe, that we could make. 32. I could make a mojo. I should. Let's see if it's any better. Excellent. 20% damage increase in toughness. So there we go. That was a good thing to make right there. So we'll go ahead and put that on. I'm going to go from 802 damage to 968. So my damage has gone up quite a bit here. Alright, let us quickly, I say, spending 40 minutes not even getting through Cathedral level 4 yet. Go to where we need to go. Oh, right. Spirit Barrage, a new secondary with Well of Souls. Additional 3 spirits seek out other enemies and deal 65% damage as cold. That is quite nice. So you've got the primary, the 425, and then 3 other enemies get hit at 65. So it's got kind of collateral damage, splash damage, if you will, which is quite nice. So we're going to go ahead and take out Hex again. We're going to go ahead and put in the new Wall of Zombies. And we've got Barricade, increase the width of the Wall of Zombies. So it doesn't say 28 yards, so it's going to be longer than 28 yards. So that's going to be pretty large. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Big Bad VooDoo. What else was there? There was Soul Harvest, huh? Alright, well, I think instead of Soul Harvest or VooDoo, we can put this on. What is Languish? Reduce the movement speed of harvested enemies by 80% and attack speed by 50%. So not only does it make them slow quite a bit, like that's a huge slow, 80%, but their attack speed is reduced in half. Now it's not Siphon. Siphon is a very good ability for me to keep alive. I think it's probably a good thing that I have a Spirit Vessel here, because I'm looking at this build, and I am just not sure what I'm going to do about survivability here. I have Spirit Walk, which will get me out of danger, but I have no way of getting health back right now. So something like Spirit Vessel might end up saving me. So I'm definitely going to want to keep Spirit Walk, that's for sure. Although I may change the rune. Let's take a look. Honored Guest and increases it 3 seconds. Let's keep the mana, that's fine. But I may, because I only have Firebombs that procs this. Well, I have Wall of Zombies too, but I'm not sure. I am running Zombie Dogs. Maybe I should get Zombie Handler. Gets the health of them up. That seems like a good idea. It really does. It would really help keep them alive, which helps keep me alive. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So, new build. Nice color. You can kind of see there's some other ones flying off of me, behind me. Alright, just going to put the zombies down. You can see how far it wanted to go. Alright, so I'm going to want to make sure I also use Soul Harvest. Even though slow is the rune, the main point of that ability is also to get me some intelligence. So I'm going to come up here, grab some intelligence. Get my damage up there. I mean, yeah, we can see that my damage is now doing pretty good. I mean, now that I've gotten my damage up almost to 1,000, or actually it is over 1,000, because I am using Soul Harvest. So that's very nice. Put that down. I mean, you can see this wall is covering a huge distance. So this is going to be very useful in some of those wide open areas. Like this is the, being here in the cathedral, things are actually pretty tight in. So I could very easily cover an entire area with the wall. But out in wide areas, I'm not going to really have that luxury. You can kind of see how the different spirits are kind of moving out from my position, hitting other enemies. Now the downside to this build so far is that I'm having a hard time killing big groups, and I kind of have to kill these summoners. I don't have any way of recouping my health right now. I basically have to depend on Cormac right now to heal me up. Alright, let's do this. Kill some of these guardians. So put my wall of zombies down to try and keep the enemy from getting to me while I kill the summoners. It's about the best thing I can do. So this is, you know, definitely not the best build I've had. It is working to an extent. Get the dogs back up. Alright, let's get out of here. I mean, I've got a lot of enemies here. If I keep fighting these guys, I'm probably going to level again, because there's just so many of them. But just look at that. I mean, that is actually a lot of damage going out right there. Ow. Alright. Yeah, let's move on. I normally don't do this. I like to explore, but I've already spent 45 minutes here. I've still got to go through the Royal Crypts, and after that, fight Leoric. That's going to be a pretty lengthy fight. I mean, you can tell just from the difficulty mode how long it's taking me to kill some of these normal enemies. I'm going to be fighting Leoric for a while here. So let's get to it. Maybe I'll level again and be able to just make another build. This build actually wouldn't work too bad for Leoric himself because it's honestly fairly single target focused. You know, something like Spirit Barrage and Will of Souls is going to work well against a single target entity like Leoric or any end act boss, really.
May death bring peace from your
What's funny is I could skip this entire thing. I could just run past him. I don't know why they did that. Like, you can kill these 4 pillars, or you can just move on. But I'll do it. Let's just get the wall up and start doing damage to the pillars. There we go. How much is my damage? 1071 with 5 stack? Yeesh. Yeah, I really think I could use the skills that restore my health when I use it, when I use Soul Harvest here. I'm going to have to rely on potions here in a moment. And Cormac's heal. Thank you, sir. Gentleman and a scholar. Yeah, when I run out of mana...
I am hurt.
Oh, there it is. There's my passive. It procced. Yep. Yeah, that was Spirit Vessel right there. Heal me up, Cormac. It's your job. Stop slacking on me. So I had said about his healing being really powerful and possibly too much. Let's just say that that's not the case now on Torment. I want to keep in mind that if you did watch that video, and especially compared to today's environment and seeing this now, I'd like it to be known that the difficulties were very different than in beta. In beta, when I was looking at the difficulty and how easy Cormac was healing me, the only difficulty you could get in beta, or not in beta, I'm sorry, in PTR, because I didn't have access to the beta, the only difficulty you had access to was up to Master. And in Master terms, it was just too easy. And I even put out a difficulty on that, it's like, or a video out on that. It's like, what's the point of this difficulty? It's like, it's way too easy. Now, I, on my Barbarian, was having a hard time, and people pointed that out on the video. It's like, doesn't this seem a little odd that you're talking about the game being too easy, and yet you're killing stuff, you're surviving, you're doing okay? Of course, you know, some people were definitely wanted to point out, too, that it was, you know, painfully slow. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I wasn't geared for it. I knew I wasn't geared for it. But I was like, my point was here. Look, I'm existing in this difficulty mode that I'm not really geared for, and I'm making it. So my point was, think of someone that had gear that I didn't have. Think of someone that had gear to handle Monster Power 10 and was farming that like mad. Master difficulty was not enough for someone that had that kind of gear. And that was the whole point of that video. It's like, look, this is an opinion piece. This is what I think. I think this is not enough. People have been complaining about the difficulty compared to Monster Power 10. This needs to happen. You cannot restrict this difficulty mode to people that only own Reaper of Souls. You have to give this to vanilla players because otherwise it's just not going to work. You are taking away something from the vanilla players. You know, it's okay if you don't want to add to their experience because they don't have the expansion, but don't take away a baseline experience that they were given. Of course, Blizzard agreed, and they ultimately gave it to us. So now we have this difficulty, and now I can see that, you know, really he's not as overpowered as I thought. Now that we have Torment difficulty, really I can see the value in why he has to be so strong, because the enemies do hit hard, the difficulty is very hard, and so the abilities that your followers have are definitely tuned around the higher difficulties. So I understand that now. It makes it a lot easier. It made it a lot easier to understand in that context. You really have to, for some of these changes that they've done, you really do have to have context, and that was something that I was missing. All right, this is it. It's gonna be a very long fight. Let's see how long it takes, shall we? I will probably ding to 33 when I beat him. So let's kill as much as I can, as quickly as I can, and I'm taking a bunch of damage, so we'll put the wall up. See, the big downfall of this build is not having a way to recover life. All I have is my gear. When you're building a build in this new system and the way the new itemization works, I really think it's intended that you have to have some kind of survivability skill. I mean, before it was really about getting the gear and leeching off the gear. Now, while that's still true to a point, it really feels like you can do a lot more by having the right kind of set, having the right kind of healing abilities, because the way they've adjusted damage and how damage goes out. So not having any kind of recovery ability for me is definitely going to be detrimental. But I think I can handle it. Leoric's overall damage, if I'm not getting hit by his whirlwind, is really not that high. As long as I'm avoiding him, as long as I'm taking care of his adds when they come up. Oh, too soon. Too soon, Major Domo, too soon. Oh, here we go. Well, he's about to try and hit me, so let's go ahead and get out of there. I need to stay somewhat close to him because he's going to keep teleporting on me if I don't. Whoa! He just kind of up and disappeared for a good while there. Uh-oh, he got past the zombie wall. So I'm trying to keep a relatively close distance to him because what I've noticed when it comes to him is that he won't teleport if you are reasonably close to him. He'll walk to you instead. So if I want to avoid damage, since I don't have... Oh boy, he's going to come up on me, isn't he? Yep. Whew! Oh yeah, this is going to take a while. I'm only just now getting him down to 25% health. He's got a lot of ads. Really not much to say here other than I just need to kind of keep up on him, keep hitting him, and this is just going to be a very long fight. There's really not much that can be done about this. I'm keeping my intelligence up as much as I possibly can. Thankfully, Leoric is really good about killing his own minions if you stand by them. In fact, this reminds me, when Diablo 3 was just coming out and we had fought the Skeleton King, I was going to do a series on boss fights. I was going to completely do a series on boss fights and how to take them out. I actually did a video on Leoric on how to fight him. Even though he was really easy, it was one of those things like he had mechanics, like how to get, I wanted to record how do you get health globes and things like that. Oh dear. I can't move, I can't move. Oh, whew. I got stuck. I mean, that was because each fight was supposed to have that, right? You were supposed to have a mechanic for getting your health back if you did it right. So in Leoric's case, it was killing his minions. You were going to have, he has his abilities like the teleport. And kind of like what I'm doing now is like I know that I can keep close to him to keep him from teleporting to avoid damage. If the boss fights had been harder, I probably would have done that series. Unfortunately, when I went and did them, I mean, a lot of the boss fights really didn't seem like they needed that much. They didn't feel like they really needed a video doing them. There were some people that did ask questions on certain bosses, and I just said, you know what, here's how you do it. I just said it. And obviously the Witch Doctor series went through and did that. So I didn't just make another video series on it, so I figured it didn't need it. Because most of them were pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not to say that they were entirely easy at the time, because, you needed... Some of them were pretty hard if you didn't have gear, especially in Inferno mode. But mechanically, they were fairly simple. Yeah, hit your skeletons. There's an achievement for that. I forgot about that. There is an achievement for him killing his skeletons. Oh man, he's only halfway done. Alright, I'm going to probably either speed this up or fade out to the end, because I really don't think there's going to be much to see here, other than kind of the repetitive fight going on right now. Whew. Well, ding to 33. Widowmaker corpse fighters. Devouring swarm on locusts. Lumbering cold on zombie charger. Well, that was a tough one. That's Leoric. That's Leoric done. Wow. That took a while. And it was difficult only in the fact that took a long time. You know, sitting there, having him whittling down my health, and then having to heal up, and just making sure that I could use my health potions, making sure that I had my cooldowns ready when I needed them. Oh, man. So here we are, to the Fields of Misery, and we're going to go out and meet Linden, the scoundrel. Yes. Oh, man. So, okay. And after that, let's just go ahead and take a look at what he dropped. He did give me a scoundrel token, so I will be holding on to that. Because then I can at least use it when I do get him. Any blues worth it? No, probably not. Alright, helm not really worth it. No. No. Here we go, some boots. Alright, int vital regeneration. I like that. Instead of 3 per second, yeah, 15. Thank you. Sacrifice damage? Ew, I probably won't be using that. Depending on how the build goes, right? It depends. So, we did get new skills. Let's just kind of see what we got. Corpse Spiders, got Widowmakers. Throw the jar with Widowmaker Spiders. It returns 3 mana per hit. So not only does it not cost anything, it gives me 3 back per hit. And it's probably going to be a decent amount, because you have to think about it. You're throwing a jar that has 4 spiders. Each of those spiders is hitting. So you're getting 12 mana back per hit, and that's several hits. You're not getting that. See, the important thing about that is you're not getting back per cast. You're getting it back per spider hit. And the spiders can hit several times, even when you're not casting. So you might throw a few spiders out there and move, and then while you're moving, you're still getting the mana back. So we'll go ahead and give those a shot. Locust Swarm is a new secondary. We have Devouring Swarm. It grants 25 mana for every enemy affected by the swarm. So that's pretty nice. So I'm going to have a very mana return build here. So I'm going to be able to cast a lot of big spenders, it would seem. And what's great is that we're keeping in the poison theme, so I can still continue to use bad medicine. Now what I'll probably end up doing is going from Zombie Handler again and moving on back to Sycophants here, because we have Corpse Spiders and we have Locust Swarm both using that. So we'll go ahead and go into that. Last we got a new decay spell for Zombie Charger. We got Lumbering Cold. Zombie Winter Bears crawl out of the ground and run in all directions, dealing 196% weapon damage as cold to nearby enemies. So it goes from 560 to 196. So it is a decrease in damage, but it is an AoE, so it'll hit a large group of enemies. Now the fun fact about this one is it used to just be zombies. Now it's zombie bears. So the only bears before were just zombie bears here at the end, but now we actually have good old-fashioned zombie bears in the cold. So we'll go ahead and put that on. That will be the secondary. We'll put this here, I think. Well, you know what? Let's just keep them in the right order so I know what I've got. So let's just see what else we can do. Let's ignore Terror for now. Go into the Realm of Decay. We already did go into the Realm of Decay, didn't we? Alright, Decay is... which one? Mouse 5, so let's just go ahead and move that here so we know what we're dealing with. Defensive. Spirit Walk is good for getting out. In fact, I kind of needed that during the Leoric fight. That was a big thing. He was summoning skeletons all around me, and I got trapped a few times and had to pull myself out with Spirit Walk. So I kind of like having that, but at the same time, I kind of like having something like Hedge Magic to do some life restore, and of course, he does turn enemies into animals and makes me do more damage. That's good for everything all around. I'm also thinking about how I want to get my life back. So if I go into VooDoo, I think I'm going to go return to the Gargantuan. I like having the Gargantuan around. We'll give him the Restless Giant again. So from there, Terror, I can do Soul Harvest to gain me back life, and then we've got Defensive where I can do Hex. I can also... rather than Hex, I can just do Spirit Walk. I'm thinking I might do that. I might just do Spirit Walk. And then maybe we'll do Soul Harvest to return life with Siphon, because that's been working. It increases my damage as well. 527 life for every enemy that was affected. 5 enemies, right? That's 2,000. Yeah. That's a good amount of life. I'm just not sure if I want to only have one source of return. Bad medicine is definitely nice for keeping me alive in that regard. I do have Spirit Vessel, which means that Horrify, Spirit Walk, and Soul Harvest I do get reductions, right? So I can have Soul Harvest and Spirit Walk and get reductions on both. You know, let's just go ahead. If we're going to do that, let's do it. Let's work on that rune's strength. We'll work on this or this passive's primary strength of giving me those two back. So we'll do Spirit Walk. We'll do Honored Guest because it gives mana. And then we'll use Zombie Chargers. So basically the Spiders and the Locust will be giving me a bunch of mana, and I'll be spamming Chargers as much as I possibly can. We'll see if it works. I mean, this is an AoE build. This is not going to be very strong single target. I mean, we've got AoE with the Locust, AoE with the Zombies. I'm just going to move these around so they make logical sense to me on my mouse buttons. There we go. Alright. They're going to give me back mana. Here's the Zombie Bears. You see very short range, too. Honor Guest. And the Swarm, which has got a blue hue to it. Like, everything with mana is blue. It works. Alright, so I guess for the final here, we're going to do the crafting corner once again. We are looking at Paragon, or looking at level 33. So, let's see, 31, 44, 21. What's the highest? 38 so far. 43 mace, so we have that. I already made the Viper. So was I looking at 43 on the mace? Yep, that looks to be it. So I can try and make one of these maces to see if I get more out of it. It might be tough because I've got life per hit and intelligence on the weapon I'm currently using, so we'll go ahead and we'll just give it one shot. Didn't quite work out. I got some toughness and life after kill, but I'm going to lose a decent amount of damage, and I kind of like the resource cost reduction too. So we'll hold off on that. Let's take a look if there's anything else. I believe we haven't moved forward too much, so we're still looking at probably the same things here. Yeah, everything's about the same level that I've crafted already, and we don't want to overcraft with the limited resources we have. So it looks like I could make a better crown, but that takes 6 tiers. I'll hold off on that. Grandmaster leg wraps. I'm just really concerned about using up a bunch of exquisite essence here. I think I'm going to hold off. Now I can make a scoundrel token since I'll be running around with him. Level 32. Yeah, let's go ahead and make one. Shoulders are fine. Dex, vital, and critical hit damage increase. Very nice. Alright, well, nothing new on the crafting scene then. Oh, I forgot the helmet. I completely forgot the helmet. I'm not sure what to put in there. The bonus experience is nice, but I'm going to hit level 60 before I get to the end anyway, so I'm really not concerned about that. I'm really thinking to go life. I don't really need the gold, as I've mentioned. Right now, I don't really need the gold. Magic Find prevents me from finding whites. It would help me find blues, which blue is kind of what I'm behind on, but as you can see, I'm also at 39 normal, so this will get better once we get to the butcher, so I'm not too terribly worried there. Let's just get life. Just get this flat life. So we're now at 7,900. I think that'll do it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. After this video, I'll be knocking it down to master level unless, like I said, unless there's a major outcry against that. So thank you for watching. It has certainly been a pleasure. Here is once again your look at the current gear since we did a little bit of crafting. Kind of show you off the character as he looks now. I do like the fact that this exists, by the way. This hitting escape and being able to see my character up close is really nice because you can only kind of see a little bit of the gear. when you're further away. So there we go. Thank you once again.